Hi all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amira. If you are new here, welcome, and if you are returning, welcome back. Today I have for you a video idea that Hannah Louise posted recently regarding total beauty fails. And as I was watching that video, a list began to form in my mind of things that are and have been and continue to be total beauty fails for me. So I decided to go ahead and do a quick video for you guys and talk about the things that have been fails for me in recent and sort of historically, because some of these things I've had for a while and I've just been too stubborn to declutter, but we'll get into that. So first up is a more recent purchase. I'd heard people rave about this foundation and it was very expensive, so I had it on sort of like my back burner wish list, as I like to call it, and it went on sale and I was like, you know, I'm gonna pick it up. That's a decent price and I'm gonna pick it up. And it is the Dior Forever Skin Glow foundation. And let me just say this, I struggled with this foundation shade match because they have shades on their website that are not carried in, you know, on Nordstrom or Macy's or any of the other, you know, stockists that stock Dior makeup. And I was vacillating between two shades, both of which didn't seem like perfect matches for me, but I was really just trying to find the one that would work the best. So I landed on 4W. And this, you want to talk about Oompa Loompa? Look how warm that is. And that's not, like usually sometimes in the bottle, it'll look different. No, no, no. No, no, my friends. It is really this warm, and it actually is warmer. It actually, I wouldn't say it oxidizes, but once it settles on the skin, it's even warmer than this. Now it says warm, but the other shade, which is considered warm as well, was even warmer. So again, I tried to find a happy medium, and so I settled on this one. So I swatched it. I was like, oh, no, 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 this won't work for me. But not only that, the smell of this foundation. I know that a lot of high-end foundations are very heavily scented. I don't own a lot of like luxury foundations. I have sort of mid-range to high-end foundations, but the ones that I have that are considered higher end don't have any scent to them really. So this was my first experience with a luxury foundation that is heavily scented. And when I say heavily scented, this smells like they took an entire bottle of perfume and poured it in here and just mixed it up. It was like, perfect. This is going to be amazing. The smell is so strong that when I swatched this on my face, and I just took a little bit and I blended it out, even when it's set, I could still smell it. This is not like one of those things where, oh, it's scented and then it dries down and the scent goes away. No, no. I could smell my face. I could smell my face. So not only is the shade match terrible, but I literally felt like I was wearing grandma's cologne or perfume and I just went like this. That's what this was for me. That was the one and only time I've used it. It's been sitting on my makeup desk, reminding me, mocking me of this fail of a purchase. Like I feel like this mocks me. I literally put it back in the box because I was sick of looking at it. I was just like, just go in the box and go in the back because I don't want to look at you anymore. So yes, this is total beauty fail number 1. Number 2 is another high-end complexion product fail. And for me, I think the biggest issue with this product is the shade range. Lancome has really, and by the way, I am speaking of the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear All Over Concealer. I was really intrigued by this. I really wanted to try it. I loved the idea of like a concealer that on days when I didn't want to wear anything, I could just like blend it all over and it would just be like the marketing very much got me with this. What did not get me was the shade range. It's for Lancome, who has historically had a very large and a very diversified shade range. This concealer is ridiculous. The shade range is ridiculous. So I bought one shade, which was way too light, and it's the next shade down from this one. Way too light. So I was like, okay, well, I just go up a shade and that should work because it was the right undertones. I was like, I'll go up to 435 Bisque. This shade is about 3 shades darker than the one I returned and just about as warm. And I'll actually show you guys because it's kind of ridiculous. Do you see that? And it oxidizes. So it gets darker than this. It gets orange. So yeah, so this is the second tube of this that our bottle, whatever, of this that I have owned. The shade range is trash. And I don't know how this works. I don't know how this would work on my skin because I refuse to apply this all over my skin. And again, in the camera, this doesn't actually look that bad, but actually, like once it starts to dry down, it's just really orange. I don't know what, this is my feeling about this. I'm going to get a little more in depth with this. This is meant to be an all over concealer. So it's essentially supposed to be like a replacement for foundation. So I do not understand why you would create something that is meant to function as like an alternative to foundation and create a more limited shade range for it. That makes no sense to me, because if you're going to have something like this, it's going to have to match well enough so that you can use it wherever you want and it'll blend in fine. Like usually with a concealer, you can kind of fudge it a bit depending on the shade of your foundation and you're not using a lot of it. So it's not going to have as huge of an impact as say a wrong shade of foundation. But this is meant to be all over. It's literally called the all over concealer. Like, why, fam? Why do you have such a limited shade range for this if it's meant to be an all-over concealer? I have issues with this. It irks me. It irks me. And the thing is that I'm still so curious about the formula. I don't know. Maybe I'll put it on my face and just walk around looking like an Oompa Loompa. But then what I'm really going to be upset about is, what if I really like the formula, but then I still can't wear it? Salty. I'm salty. Next up is an older product that I have actually used quite extensively. And here's the thing. I don't actually hate the product per se. I like the effect it gives, but the methodology, the formula itself, the feeling of it is terrible. And that is the Kevyn Aquan Glass Glow Face Illuminator in the shade Crystal Clear. Now, this comes in, I think, 3 or 4 shades. There's this clear shade that has like some blue reflect in it. There's a pinky rosy shade, and there's a really golden shade. I wasn't really a fan of the other shades. I felt like those would have changed the tint of my skin a little bit and like the tint of my foundation. So I went for the Crystal Clear because you still get the illumination, but there's no color. This feels like Vaseline on your face. Did you see that? It's sticky and thick, and I hate the feel of it on my face. I tried to make it work. I wore this, I had this in the beginning of the year into the summer. I was doing this little challenge for myself, and I may get back to it. I may start doing it in the new year as well, of doing a monthly makeup capsule, like a monthly makeup box, and the things that I wanted to get more use out of. So I would put them in the box or put them in the box. I don't have a box. I do, but not everything fits in it, so I just don't use it. I'm getting way on a tangent here. I would put these things to the side. I would put them to the side, and that would be the bulk of what I would use. And usually it was just base products, maybe some lipsticks, and I would allow myself to use whatever as far as like eyeshadow goes. But it was really just trying to get use out of like bronzers and blushes and foundations and concealers and face illuminators. And so I used this for a month. First off, as you can see, it's not actually that much has been, it looks like nothing's been used, right? Well, something, that's like here, it looks a little empty here. This is after a month of use because it is so thick. She's so thick, 2 C's, that you need like the tiniest bit, but it feels like rubbing, dipping your finger in Vaseline and rubbing it all over your face. And then you have to try to set your face. This doesn't like to set. So even though I usually put it on under foundation and then I apply my foundation. So already my face is feeling heavy. And then you get that, and your foundation maybe doesn't want to set under, over this. Sometimes it doesn't, depending on the formula. So you put powder on, and you would think powder would kind of like help the situation. Nay, nay. In the words of Bailey Sarian, nay, nay, my friends. It would just settle. The powder would just settle. It would blend out. It wouldn't look like patchy, but it would just sit on top, and you would still feel like. So now you've got a heavy illuminator, foundation, and powder, and this still hasn't set. The thing is, this is the sad part about this. The finish, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. If you can deal with the feeling of Vaseline all over your face, if you're cool with that, if you have long hair, you're fine with your hair getting stuck to your face, this might be for you. If you are not one of those people, this is not the biz. So yeah. Next up is, you guys probably won't be surprised by this because it's a recent review. The Janessa and Myrick's Infinite Chrome Flakes. Yes, I'm bringing these up again. Don't be mad, but also, whatever. These are a fail. I'm sorry. They're a fail. They're a fail. The formula is not the biz. I'm picking up this one specifically, Strobe Light, because this is the one that gave me the most trouble. It lifts up your eyeshadow underneath, and that seems to be the general consensus. Everyone that I know who has tried these, who has talked about them, has said they have the exact same issues with them. So it's not just one shade, and it seems to be an issue with the formula in general. They do not play well with others. So yeah, so for me, this is a fail. This is $25 of product that I now own. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. The other two, I feel like I could probably get use out of. This one particularly is the one that gave me the most trouble, and so this is the one that I'm the least inclined to use again. Yeah, likey. And finally, this might be a shock to you guys, and if you love this formula, and honestly, I want to say this, I think that it is specifically this particular tube, and I'm wondering if I got a dud, because so many people love this lipstick formula, and that's the whole reason why I bought it, is everyone raved about it, and I really wanted to try it. And so this is the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude lipstick, and this is the shade Yama. Is it Yama or Yana? Excuse me. So this is what it looks like. And I will swatch it on my hand. So it's like this really nude. Oh, I'm already smelling it. So this has a weird smell, and I'm wondering if I got an expired tube, because the smell is so strong, and it is very Crayola crayon. So that's why another reason why I think it's probably expired, and it will smell like that when I got it. But also the feeling of it on the lips, I was not a fan of. And again, I'm not banning these from my household indefinitely. I want to try another one of these and really compare it and see if it was just this one. The smell, I think, is just this one. I truly do think this was an expired lipstick that I received. I had an expired lipstick, just flat out. But the texture, and I don't know if it's because it's expired. The texture has this like moussey, balmy kind of feel that I don't think I like. When it comes to colored lipsticks, like traditional bullet lipsticks, I tend to like a satin or cream or matte formula. And this feels very much like a colored lip balm on the lips. It's got this weird like feeling, you know, like when you put a lip balm on and you just kind of want to go, ah. That's how this is. And I don't like that. So this has just been sitting unused because as soon as I got it, I was like, is this normal? Like as soon as you open it up, like it's not, the thing is it kind of has like I heard that these are supposed to smell like vanilla. I can smell the vanilla, but I can also smell crayon. So yeah, I think this is a dud. And this was for me because this was a complete waste of money, and I honestly should have returned it, but I just didn't even, I bought this, didn't use it for a really long time. Like I had it like on the side. It's a thing that I have sometimes, and it's something that I'm trying to improve, where I'll buy things and then I'll set it to the side and not use them for ages. And then I'll be like, oh yeah, let me use that now. That was kind of the case with this. And so I think if I had tried it sooner and I would have realized that it was probably bad, I would have just returned it and exchanged it for a different shade or gotten my money back or whatever. But I didn't, you know, such is life, lesson learned. So yeah, those are my current, most recent beauty fails. I'm sure I could think of more. I plan on doing like my makeup collection. I'm still deciding if I'm going to do a declutter. I think if I do a declutter, it'll be a very light declutter because I don't have a ton that I'm trying to get rid of at the moment. I'm actually really good about decluttering throughout the year. So I don't tend to hold on to a bunch of things that I don't like. But I do have a nice little selection of things that I think can go by the wayside. Mostly these things. This one, I don't know why. I just don't want to declutter it because I love the finish, but I hate the feeling of it on my face. It's like I want to tell myself that I can deal with the feeling, but whenever I put it on, I'm always like, so I don't know. I don't know, but I've had this for a while and I have gotten use out of it. And maybe that's the thing, is now I've gotten my use out of it. Maybe it's just time to say goodbye. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it'll end up in the declutter pile. So I don't know when those videos are coming. I know that that's going to be a behemoth of a video to shoot, and it's probably going to be multiple videos. I think I'm just going to split them up into categories because, spoiler alert, guys, I own a lot of makeup. So the idea of like pulling everything out and like, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot, and it kind of giving me slight anxiety to think about, to pull everything out. So I think I'm just gonna, I might start off small. I might start off with, you know, boring things like brow products and eyeliners, even though I have a lot of eyeliners too, but that'll be more, you know, a nice dipping of my toe into the whole declutter situation. But yeah. Tell me in the comments below, what are some of your recent beauty fails? What are things that you spent your money on and you're kind of bummed that you spent money on? Yeah, I probably have more. I probably have more. Maybe we'll talk, like I said, we'll talk about them in the declutter, but these are the things that came to my mind immediately. Actually, there is one more. Should I bring it? Should I get it? And it's right there on my, I'm gonna go get it. All right, am I the only one who tries things once and goes, I don't think this works for me, but I'm going to try it again. Maybe if I tried a different color, it'll work for me. Am I the only one who does that? I'm very optimistic with products. This is one of those products. This is the Estee Lauder Futurist Hydro Rescue Moisturizing Makeup Broad Spectrum SPF 45 in the shade Spiced Sand 4 in 2. I had this shade, or this foundation in the shade 4W2, I believe, which was so orange. So I was like, okay, this one's more neutral. This is like Ghostface Killer's neutral. This is like Casper the Friendly Ghost neutral. This is like, are you okay? Are you sick? Neutral. I look gray in this foundation. And what I'm discovering is it does this weird thing where it separates. And my other one did that too, and I thought it was just old. You see that? I don't know if it's because it has SPF in it, but the other one did that too. That bugs. Like, it's literally the pigments are separating. But also, I've now worn or tried this foundation about 3 or 4 times. I tried making this work by using warmer things. The shade is just like no go. But the other shade I tried quite a few times. And I don't think I like this. I don't know what possessed me to buy another one to see like, maybe if I get a different shade, I'll feel differently about it. Because sometimes when your shade matches off, it can kind of make your skin look a little weird, which makes you think that the product isn't the best, when in actuality it's just that you need a better shade match. You know what I mean? That's happened to me with a lot of concealers and foundations, is once I find my proper shade, I actually quite like the product. So I think I was just feeling optimistic that if I found my perfect shade, I would be able to make it work, and I cannot. It's like, what is that? Yeah, so these are the 2 higher end foundations that I purchased recently that are a no-go for me. I mean, I need to stop trying to be bougie. That's what this is telling me. Stop being bougie, Amira. It doesn't always work out for you. All right. So now I am done. Those are all my total beauty fails for this video. Let me know in the comments what your total beauty fails are as well, and I will see you guys in the next one.